Pompeo is set to meet Russian President Vladimir, I should say Putin on there somewhere, today at the Kremlin's summer home in Sochi. The meeting coincides with rising tensions in hot-button areas around the globe that Russia and the United States have clashed over before. Venezuela, Iran, Syria, North Korea, Ukraine, not to mention the U.S.'s escalating trade war with China. President Donald Trump will meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping and Putin when world leaders gather in Japan next month for the annual G20 summit.
The family of a former Lake Highland Preparatory School student in Orange County, Florida, is suing the school and the family of another student after they say their son was consistently bullied, harassed, and sexually assaulted by the other student. According to a lawsuit filed by a family who chooses to remain anonymous, they claim their son was physically and sexually assaulted by a fellow student at Lake Highland Prep on almost a daily basis this school year. They are now suing for damages after they say the school did nothing to stop the abuse, ultimately forcing them to pull their son from the school for his own safety. In the complaint, the family says their son was followed, stalked, bumped, kicked, bullied, harassed, and lasciviously and sexually battered by another student throughout the 2018 to 2019 school year, reported by WESH-TV2.
From the Associated Press, Attorney General William Barr has appointed a U.S. attorney to examine the origins of the Russia investigation and determine if intelligence collection involving the Trump campaign was lawful and appropriate. A person familiar with the matter told the Associated Press yesterday. Barr appointed John Durham, the U.S. attorney in Connecticut, to conduct the inquiry. The person said the person could not discuss the matter publicly and spoke to the Associated Press on condition of anonymity. Durham's appointment comes about a month after Barr told members of Congress he believed spying did occur on the Trump campaign in 2016.
Questions about the legality of CBD oil in Florida are swirling after a 69-year-old woman was recently arrested with it in her purse at Disney's Magic Kingdom. Under Florida's medical marijuana law, patients using CBD oil with 3% or higher THC must be listed in the state's medical marijuana registry. Hester Burkhalter of North Carolina was arrested for having oil that was labeled Select CBD in her purse. Burkhalter said the oil she did not contain CTHC and said she was made to feel like a criminal. An arrest report shows that an Orange County, Florida deputy used a marijuana presumptive drug test kit to see if the CBD contained THC. According to the deputy, the test did indicate the presence of marijuana. Burkhalter spent 12 hours in jail and was charged with possession of hashish, reported by the Orlando Sentinel.
From the Associated Press, President Donald Trump celebrated the month of Ramadan yesterday evening as a time when people join forces in pursuit of hope, tolerance, and peace. Trump held an iftar dinner for ambassadors and members of the diplomatic corps representing Muslim-majority nations. The dinner breaks the day-long fast that Muslims followed during Ramadan. They have been held regularly at the White House since the Clinton administration as a form of outreach to the Muslim world. Trump said it's been a rough period recently for people of all faiths. He cited attacks on Muslims in New Zealand, Christians in Sri Lanka, and Jews in California and Pittsburgh.
Former President Jimmy Carter is recovering from surgery to repair a broken hip after taking a fall at his home in Plains, Georgia. Carter, age 94, fell as he was leaving to go turkey hunting on Monday. The nation's 39th president is said to be recovering comfortably after the successful surgery. President Carter said his main concern is that turkey season ends this week and he has not yet reached his limit. He hopes the state of Georgia will allow him to roll over the unused limit to next year, reported by the Associated Press.
From the Florida News Network, an Oregon man was struck and killed Sunday night while standing in a Marion County road. Just before 9 p.m., Angeline Weller was driving a 2015 Honda CR-V eastbound on Northeast 7th Street in Ocala. According to the Florida Highway Patrol, the Highway Patrol said that the 78-year-old Ocala resident did not see Nicholas Knight standing in the eastbound lane of the road before her vehicle struck him. The 29-year-old man was declared dead at the scene by Marion County Fire Rescue. Weller and her passenger were not injured. The investigation is still ongoing.
Doris Day, the actress whose wholesome screen presence stood for a time of innocence in films from the 1960s, has died at the age of 97. The Doris Day Animal Foundation announced her death yesterday, saying the legendary performer died at her home in Carmel Valley, California. Day had been in excellent physical health for her age until recently contracting a serious case of pneumonia, resulting in her death. Day starred in several movies such as Pillow Talk and Move Over Darling. She also had her own television series, The Doris Day Show. In recent years, she spent much of her time advocating for animal rights. Although mostly retired from show business since the 1980s, she still had enough of a following that a 2011 collection of previously unreleased songs, My Heart, hit the top 10 in the United Kingdom. That same year, she received a Lifetime Achievement honor from the Los Angeles Film Critics Association. Friends and supporters lobbied for years to get her an honorary Oscar, reported by the Associated Press.
From, this is from Newsmax.com. A U.S. official says an American military team's initial assessment is that Iranian or Iranian-backed proxies used explosives to blow large holes in 4 ships anchored off the coast of the United Arab Emirates. The official says each ship has a 5 to 10 foot hole in it near or just below the waterline. The U.S. military team assesses that the holes were caused by explosive charges. The UAE asked the United States to help investigate the damage, which Gulf officials have characterized as sabotage. The official was not authorized to discuss the investigation publicly and spoke on condition of anonymity.
Australian runner Robert Button will dare to don the outfit that Borat made famous, the mankini. He'll then be making a very public run for it from Rosebery to Boat Harbor in next to nothing. The thought of raising over $5,000 for motor neuron disease, also known as MND research, takes the chill off for the underground miner. When his friend Kirk was diagnosed with the progressive terminal disease, Mr. Button was inspired to act. He said, "I didn't know anything about it until he was diagnosed. He's got a little kid, roughly the same age as my little boy, 6 years old." He plans to tackle the 144-kilometer run over 3 days starting on August the 10th, reported by The Advocate.
From the Florida News Network, authorities say they have arrested a Florida man who killed his ex-boyfriend and set his apartment on fire. A Broward County Sheriff's Office news release says 38-year-old Michael Mitchell was arrested Saturday and charged with first-degree murder and arson. Detectives say Mitchell and 40-year-old John Young had recently broken up and had a well-documented history of domestic violence. Officials say Mitchell went to Young's Wilton Manors home on Thursday, killed Young, and set the fire. Firefighters found the body while putting out the blaze.
An award-winning principal with strong ties to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School has been tapped as the school's next leader. Michelle Kelford, principal at Charles Flanagan High School in Pembroke Pines, was recently named Florida's 2019 Principal of the Year. She will replace Ty Thompson, who announced on Friday that he is stepping down at the end of this school year. Kelford, who is 44 and lives in Parkland, previously taught biology at Stoneman Douglas. Her son is a 9th grader at the school. She will take on her new role July the 1st, reported by the South Florida Sun-Sentinel.
From Politico, 5 House committee chairmen are now demanding Attorney General William Barr provide documents by May 27th about his decision to stop defending the constitutionality of Obamacare. In a letter this morning to Barr, the chairman noted that they have been seeking the documents since April 8th. The letter, which was posted by Politico, is signed by Oversight Chairman Elijah Cummings, a Democrat from the state of Maryland, Energy and Commerce Chairman Frank Pallone Jr., a Democrat from the state of New Jersey, Ways and Means Chairman Richard Neal, a Democrat from the state of Massachusetts, Education and Labor Chairman Bobby Scott, a Democrat from the state of Virginia, and Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler, a Democrat from the state of New York.
The drowning human police responded to in Florida on Sunday, which turned out to be a horse stuck in a pool, has died. Sheriff's officials said yesterday investigators discovered a poor horse, as described by the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, that fell into a swimming pool at a home in Lake Worth. A deputy with the sheriff's office walked into the pool. The deputy sat on the steps working to reassure the horse. Another deputy in full uniform and 22 days before his retirement waded into the pool to reassure the large dark-colored steed. He sat down on the steps and he calmed the animal, who looked to be standing in around 3 feet of water. After being rescued, the horse later died, reported by Fox News.
From WABC in New York, technical problems were being blamed for delays at some airports throughout the United States this morning. It's said on WABC that from JFK Airport, hundreds of JetBlue passengers were in line waiting to check in after a system failed. The airline urged passengers to add extra time if flying out today. Systems are recovering after a global Sabre outage impacting multiple airlines, JetBlue said in a statement to WPIX TV 11. JetBlue customers may experience longer lines in some airports this morning.
Beer company Natural Light is seeking a paid intern to spend the summer sipping on beer and creating social media content. The Natty Light summer intern will be called upon to act as a brand ambassador at various summer events, create viral social media content, including weekly vlogs, conduct product research, and keep the brand manager appraised of the latest social media trends. The intern must be at least 21 years old, should have qualifications including social media savvy, attention to detail, meme creation skills, and be outgoing but not annoying. The qualification list also states that confidence is a must and just be cool. The company is accepting resumes through May 26, reported by Natural Light.
We'll take a little break and we'll be right back.
Are you a medical provider that doesn't like to settle for the same boring scrubs? Scrub Paradise in Ocala has a wide selection of top brand scrubs with embroidery available and the newest medical shoes and accessories. Every medical provider should look as great as the care they provide. Scrub Paradise is just off Easy Street next to Shoe Carnival in Ocala. Stop by today or give them a call at 352-873-4368. That's 352-873-4368.
I'm Jennifer, the Executive Director of Palm Garden, and May is a big month in our industry. Today, I brought Annette Lotz with me, the Director of Clinical Services.
I'm happy to be here, Jennifer, and in May, we get to celebrate our wonderful nursing staff. They are truly ladies and gentlemen, serving ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, they are, Annette, and we are always looking for more excellent, caring nurses to join our Palm Garden family.
We sure are, but in the meantime,
Happy Nurses Week from Palm Garden.
The 28th Annual Orlando International Fringe Festival is Orlando's most unique cultural experience, May 14th through May 27th in Orlando's Lock Haven Park. Orlando Fringe is a nonprofit organization that gives 100% of ticket sales back to the artists. Over 130 different shows offering G to OMG. The Fringe Festival has a free outdoor music stage, visual fringe, as well as kids fringe. The entire family won't want to miss. For more information, visit orlandofringe.org. Why not serve a delicious, intimate, and very easy dinner from Honey Baked Ham of Ocala? They have about the best ham produced ever, and turkey breast or beef pot roast or pork roast.
I thought they just served whole or half hams or turkeys that you picked up at Thanksgiving or Christmas.
They have so much more. They have a cafe and do all kinds of hot and cold catering. They'll do most of the work while you get all of the credit.
Where are they?
Southwest 27th Avenue, right behind Best Buy. Give them a call at 861-0011. All right, 7 minutes before 9 o'clock, let's return to News Bites. The next story is from the Thomson Reuters news agency. A California jury awarded more than $2 billion to a couple who claimed Bayer AG's glyphosate-based Roundup weed killer caused their cancer in the largest U.S. jury verdict to date against the company in litigation over the chemical. Yesterday's large punitive damages award is likely to be reduced under U.S. Supreme Court rulings that limit the ratio of punitive to compensatory damages to 9-1. The jury awarded a total of $2 billion in punitive damages and $55 million in compensatory damages.
A small monkey that escaped his owner's Florida home has been safely returned after being found at a construction site. The owner of Donato, a capuchin monkey that fled his owner's home in Zephyr Hills, Florida last week, was found and captured days later at a construction site about 2 miles from the home, reported by UPI.
This is from the Associated Press. 6 people are missing after 2 float planes collided in midair yesterday near the southeast Alaska town of Ketchikan, injuring 10 people, 1 critically. The planes collided under unknown circumstances, Federal Aviation Administration spokesman Alan Kennitzer said in an email to the Associated Press. Float planes have pontoons mounted under the fuselage so they can land on water. 11 people were inside the single-engine de Havilland Otter DHC-3 when it went down. 10 were taken to Ketchikan Hospital. 1 patient was listed in critical condition and the others were in fair or good condition, according to Michka Chernik, a spokeswoman for the Peace Health Ketchikan Medical Center.
A man has been arrested accused of walking around naked in Candyland, a park in Longwood, Florida, according to the Longwood Police Department. Officers located the male, identified as Jordan Anderson, who was taken into custody accused of indecent exposure of sexual organs. Anderson was transported to the John E. Polk Correctional Facility, reported by Florida News Service.
From Newsmax.com, Supreme Court Associate Justice Brett Kavanaugh yesterday joined the 4 liberal judges on the High Court in rejecting a plea from tech giant Apple to end a major antitrust lawsuit wrote over its App Store. Kavanaugh, appointed by President Trump last year, wrote the majority opinion that agreed the lawsuit can move forward in a lower court. Justice Neil Gorsuch, another Trump appointee who joined the court in 2017, wrote the dissent. 4 iPhone users sued Apple, claiming that it was monopolizing the retail market for a sale of apps. The company charges up to a 30% commission to developers who sell their products through the App Store and bans them from selling their apps elsewhere.
A police dog that joined the security team at an Arkansas high school was awarded a high honor, a photo in the yearbook with the rest of the faculty provided by the Bryant Police Department. It looks like one of Bryant PD's finest school resource officers made the Hornet yearbook this year. A statement from the police department said, "Good job, Maya. You are representing the PD with pride, Hornet pride," reported by UPI.
From the Florida News Network, President Trump says his administration will seek $200 million for federal work on watershed restoration in the Everglades this year. That's more than triple the $63 million Trump requested in a budget proposal in March, and the new figure would be more in line with what Florida's governor and lawmakers have said is necessary annually. Trump tweeted yesterday that his administration, quote, will be fighting for $200 million and that Congress needs to help us immediately complete the world's largest intergovernmental watershed restoration project, unquote.
2 dogs, a pit bull and a pit bull mix, have been confiscated from a Deltona, Florida home and quarantined after investigators say they killed at least 1 cat on Sunday. The owner of the cat, Lori Dombeck, had surveillance video of the attack, reported by the Florida News Service.
From Spectrum News 13, a 29-year-old Daytona Beach man is facing charges after bringing a pistol and ammunition to Disney World. Terry Laverle Bruce is charged with carrying a concealed firearm, which is a third-degree felony. According to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, Disney security found a holstered pistol in Bruce's zipped-up backpack last Tuesday at the Transportation and Ticket Center near the Magic Kingdom. The gun was unloaded, but there were 2 magazines in the backpack. Bruce told a sheriff's deputy working a Disney detail that he had switched vehicles, grabbed the backpack, but forgot the gun was inside of it.
A teenager made a large impression with his promposal when he used a Times Square billboard in New York City to ask a girl to prom. Kyle Gelber, a senior at Horace Greeley High School in Chappaqua, was able to use the T-Mobile billboard in Manhattan to ask junior Phoebe Spar to go to the prom with him. She said yes, reported by UPI.
From Newsmax.com, a Texas Senate committee yesterday advanced a bill designed to stop cities and other government bodies from taking adverse actions against businesses that publicly embrace religious views, a measure introduced after the city of San Antonio refused to allow Chick-fil-A to rent space in its airport because of its company's vocal opposition to same-sex marriage. The bill was derailed in the Texas House last week by an openly gay freshman member of the chamber. San Antonio's city council Council in April banned Chick-fil-A from operating in its airport. 2 weeks later, a New York Democratic Assemblyman announced that the Buffalo Airport food vendor was prohibiting Chick-fil-A from operating in its food court as well.
A 39-year-old man, David Ayers, was arrested in Jacksonville, Florida yesterday after he allegedly was driving a stolen box truck with stolen caskets inside, reported by Fox News.
All right, that's all the time we have. We need to move forward. How many stories today, Robin?
30.
Not bad. We'll be right back. Caroline Baldwin up next.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. President Trump tweets about the trade dispute and escalating tariffs with China. We are in a much better position now than any deal we could have made. He said last night at a dinner celebrating the Muslim holy month Ramadan.
Well, I'll let you know in about 3 or 4 weeks whether or not it was successful. You never really know, right? But I have a feeling it's going to be very successful.
A Chinese foreign ministry spokesman says we will fight to the finish. Another Democrat's running for president, Montana Governor Steve Bullock.
In an online video, he highlighted his efforts to rid his state